What we need to notice in verse 29 is that God's end goal for us is to be conformed to the image of his Son, and for Jesus to have a ton of brothers that look like him. That's what things are heading towards. That's the goal. That's the good. God's plan for your life, if you're a Christian believer, is to make you more like Jesus. That is how God defines good. In fact, there's nothing better God could do for you than to make you more like Jesus. So I think we need to redefine the word good. So what God says a total win for my life is going to look like is that I become conformed to the image of Jesus. Not that I'll be rich. Not that I'll be happy. Not that I'll be successful. Not that I'll be popular. But that I become a bit more like Jesus. God is saying that's the win. That is the best thing. God could be using all of the powers of his godness and wisdom to orchestrate all of reality so that we all become a bit more like Jesus. Amen. And one day a lot more like Jesus. And so God is coordinating the universe to that end, all things. That's what God most prizes for you. That's what we should most value for ourselves. So whatever the things are that we are going through, that is God's goal in it all. Make us more like Jesus. Now let's just be honest. Life is not easy. This past year, to be completely frank with you, has been one of the most painful in my life. Verse 28 is saying to me that in this past year, God could not have been more good to me. My choice is, do I believe that? And it's the same for you. Whatever you've been going through, God could not be more good to you. If good means becoming more like Jesus. One of my dearest friends back in the UK is a guy called Dimitri, and he would want me to say he's not Russian, his mother's pretentious. That's why he's called Dimitri. He has a lovely little boy called Theo, and during the pregnancy they discovered that Theo has spina bifida, and they knew that the moment Theo arrived on the planet he would need immediate surgery. And then several months later he needed more surgery. And so my friend Dimitri had this awful situation where his little baby was going to have to go through yet more surgery, and what they had said was, you can't feed him for 24 hours before the surgery. So my friend was holding his baby in his hands. His baby was screaming the house down because he hadn't been fed. And my friend was holding his little boy saying, I promise you there's a really good reason for this. And as he said those words to his son, it suddenly hit him that must be what it's like for God as he deals with us. As we go through this age groaning, sometimes screaming down the house, God is saying to us, I promise you there's a reason this is happening. This experience is not purposeless. It's not meaningless. It's not a waste of time. So we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to his purpose.